Good evening. I'm Angel Dean, and today I'm going to discuss about assistive technologies from low to high level for students with problems in cognition, communication, and transition. Assistive technology refers to the devices and services that are used to increase, maintain, or improve the capabilities of a student with disability. While the phrase assistive technology may make us think of computers and computerized devices, assistive technology can also be very low tech. For example, pencil grips. These are molded plastic grips that slip over a pencil. These are considered assistive technology. Assistive technology summary points. Number one, assistive technology ranges from low to high tech. Assistive technology can be used in two ways. One is to support learning, and the other is to bypass a challenging task, such as handwriting. Third is in order to be effective, assistive technology needs to be embedded with quality instruction. Assistive technology that helps us or helps students with learning disabilities includes computer programs and tablet applications such as text-to-speech, example would be Kurzweil 3000, speech-to-text, example would be Dragon Naturally Speaking, word prediction, which is WordQ, and graphic organizers, an example would be Inspiration. How can assistive technology help? Assistive technology helps in two ways. Excuse me. One, it can help the student learn how to complete the task, and two, it can help to bypass an area of difficulty. When a student decides to listen to a digital version of a book, they are bypassing the area of difficulty. However, if the student focuses on the computer screen as highlighted words are read aloud, they can learn unfamiliar words. Communication impairment. These are conditions that interfere with a person's ability to understand or process information or express oneself in an auditory manner. Although some communication impairments are medical conditions that manifest from birth, most are traditionally considered secondary impairments or results of more severe impairments, such as cerebral palsy or a hearing impairment. Communication impairments can significantly affect the clarity and content of one's speech. It can also be related to comprehension deficit that results in ineffective verbal communication. For people with communication impairments, there are various AT solutions ranging from low-tech to high-tech. The ideal device for each individual to use is often determined by the level of physical or cognitive impairment as well as affordability. Low-tech and no-tech solutions for people with communication impairments are typically items readily available to everyone. An example of a no-tech solution is the use of sign language for communication. This entails learning and understanding the language and possessing the ability to form symbols with one's hands. However, there is no technology involved. Low-tech options can include strategies as simple as using a pen and a paper or a dry erase board to communicate. Symbol-based communication that consists of using symbols on a communication board or in a communication book to indicate a desired word or phrase are another low-tech means of communicating. The user can indicate the desired symbols through a direct point, an eye gaze, or a series of yes and no questions. The low-tech options cited easy to obtain and cost-effective. To maximize these options, the communication impairment must be the user's primary impairment. If the communication impairment is secondary to a cognitive impairment, the individual may not be able to understand written language or abstract symbols representing words or phrases, rendering these options ineffective. There are some disadvantages to using low-tech systems. First, these options do not provide an audio output, thus they do not provide the user a voice. Secondly, the lack of audio output makes it difficult for a user to initiate a conversation. And finally, symbols can cause confusion for conversation partners. Some symbols can be abstract, and although users are familiar with them, their conversation partners may not be, leading to frustrating, slow communication. For high-tech communication devices, typically it is referred to AAC devices or augmentative and alternative communication. This consists of a computer-based touchscreen system with a dynamic display that utilizes a combination of recorded voice and synthesized voice to convey messages for people with communication impairments. To use these types of devices, one can either directly type words or phrases to be spoken or activate a symbol that has been programmed to link a word, phrase, or sentence through the keyboard option as well as dynamic display. Users are only limited in their communication options by what they program into their device. These devices are produced by many manufacturers. As you can see here, they are made in various sizes from PDAs to laptop-sized devices, making them easily portable. And to access one of these AAC devices, one can either use direct touch or switch scanning. The number of options and the complexity of scanning makes AAC devices difficult for people with cognitive impairments to use effectively. High-tech AAC devices offer the user the most options for communication while also providing the user a voice via an audio output. These devices make any conversation possible and also give the user the opportunity to initiate a conversation. High-tech AAC devices are also portable and usable across many different environments. The biggest drawback to these devices is their cost, which is often multiple thousands of dollars. The unlimited communication potential can also have a downside: slower conversations and longer pauses while the AAC user navigates the device to find the desired response. These type of devices also require a significant initial training and programming due to their complexity. To provide a user with numerous communication options, someone has to program each option into the device. After the initial setup, programming time becomes more manageable as it is only battery operated or necessary to update the device. Lastly, a lot of high-tech devices are battery operated and have the potential to run out, leaving the user without means of communication. Communication is an essential tool for success in society. Because of this, people with communication impairment have been at a significant disadvantage to the rest of the population. There are several accommodations to help overcome verbal communication impairments, such as written or typed communication. However, communication impairments are often secondary impairments, rendering these solutions ineffective. People with cognitive disabilities are the largest group of individuals with disabilities. Cognition is the process by which sensory inputs are transformed, reduced, elaborated, stored, recovered, and used. Among the many features of cognition are attention, memory, executive functions. When we say executive functions, these are planning, problem solving, self-monitoring, and self-awareness. Another would be comprehension and formation of speech, calculation ability, visual perception, praxis skills. Cognitive dysfunction is defined as functioning below the expected levels in any of these specific areas. Early insights into cognition in psychology and other fields were based on this conceptualization of distinct module of functionality within the brain. In this light, ATC, or Assistive Technology for Cognition, was built. The term learning disability broadly refers to a number of related central nervous system disorders that affect higher cognitive function. The DSM-4 identifies 4 categories of learning disabilities: reading disorder, mathematics disorder, disorders of written expression, and learning disorders not otherwise specified. These include perception, memory, learning, complex voluntary motor activity, thinking, language, and affect. The individual with a learning disorder may have impairments in one or more of these psychological processes. For low-tech assistive technology, these solutions can be the most effective for students with learning disabilities. Utilizing colors via highlighters, colored paper, or colored coding systems for different subjects can help to organize the information in a manner that is easier understood by students who have difficulty with organization. For students with dysgraphia, there are options such as pencil grips and raised line paper. These can help a student lacking fine motor skills properly hold a pencil to write, or can guide the student's writing by allowing them to feel when they have crossed a line on their paper. The most commonly used low-tech strategy for students with learning disabilities is a symbol-based learning system. For students who have trouble reading due to dyslexia, the use of symbols in place of or to augment written directions, questions, or readings can help these students access the same information as those without learning disabilities. If used as a means of augmenting written language, it can also help students with learning disabilities to learn and recognize words that are associated with these symbols. There are just a few examples of low-tech options that have been proven to work. Low-tech AT options in general are open and allow for teachers to manipulate tools, however, necessary to help students with learning disabilities. For high-tech assistive technology, these softwares can be used to help people who struggle with reading, writing, spelling, and organizing their thoughts due to learning disabilities. For those with dyslexia who struggle reading, scan, and read programs, such as those used by people with visual impairments, can be beneficial. These programs allow written material to be scanned into a computer and read aloud, while giving the user the ability to adjust reading speed and voice to a level that can be best understood. Students with dyscalculia can use AT software such as speech recognition software and word processing programs to enter text into a computer and bypass the physical act of writing. These are AlphaSmart and also PenFriend and CoWriter. Text-to-audio programs can be used by students whose learning disability affects their spelling and thus their ability to compose papers. Word prediction software consists of a bank of words that appears in the word processing program while one is typing. The words in the bank are predictions of the desired words based on the previous typed letters. There are also high-tech programs such as concept mapping adaptable keyboards available for those whose disabilities can cause difficulty organizing thoughts, to write, or to spell and write words accurately and respectively. Concept mapping programs are used to help create a well-organized paper by visually connecting thoughts. AT devices for transitioning. These are devices that help people with disabilities participate more independently within their home, employment, and school setting. There are infinite possibilities when it comes to AT. Some examples include screen readers, speech recognition systems, touchscreens, word prediction software, joysticks, trackballs, timers, recorders, seat cushions, and hearing aids. There is no one-size-fits-all with assistive technology devices. AT options are individualized and based on personal needs. As students prepare to leave high school and transition into adult life, it is essential that their families and education teams also begin to consider their assistive technology needs. The transition goals of each student combined with her current needs will help to determine what types of assistive technology will be used to student moving forward. Students should develop proficiencies in the use of assistive devices that will allow them to gain or maintain independence or that will promote their well-being. Examples of assistive technology in transitions would be a student with low vision who plans to move on employment in a retail store may need a handheld magnifier to look at the product tags or considerations on how to make a store's cash register accessible. Another is with complex developmental communication needs to move into day programming with a supported work component may benefit from communication devices to express his needs or make choices in the workplace. And a student who is totally blind and planning to move on to post-secondary education will benefit from learning assistive technology that will allow him to access printed and electronic material in and outside of the classroom. Thank you very much for listening, and please go to my website on Weebly, The World of Autism. Thank you so much.